Hi friends, it's Sunny. I'm back. Today we're going to focus on episode 2 of Dancing Queens. For those of you who don't know me, I am a professional ballroom dancer. I have 30 years experience in this industry, competing, performing, teaching. I've also am the former owner of the largest ballroom dance studio in the United States. So I'm here today to share kind of an industry insider view into what is going on this new TV show. Biggest surprise to me in this episode was Leonie no-showed, and I didn't catch why she no-showed this comp. So if you saw something I didn't, please comment below. I'm really curious if you know anything I don't. I'm only speculating that I just learned as well that she's quite inexperienced. She's only been dancing a couple years. Perhaps her pro felt that they weren't quite ready to debut or show up at a really big competitive event. And he did mention perhaps doing a smaller event. So my guess is that she just wants to wait until she feels more prepared. In my personal experience as a coach, I think it's great to show up to any competition, and there's no better way to learn than put yourself out there on the floor with people that are better than you. But that's my opinion. Everyone approaches competition differently. I feel like if you wait until you're perfect, you'll never compete. So that was interesting. Next up, we learn that Donnie has ulcerative colitis, and this is an autoimmune disease. It affects your bowels, and so this poor thing is probably dealing with cramps, diarrhea, possibly abdominal bleeding, and she has an episode right before she goes on the comp floor at this comp. So I'm not sure that's something I would want to reveal on a reality TV show, but hey, props to her for being honest and maybe being inspiring to other people who are suffering from this condition. Next up, I learned that Sabrina, who's the one who took the break from Stas, actually hasn't been on the comp floor in a couple years. So this could hold her back a little bit in this comp. We'll see if she's a little bit rusty or nervous, but that is quite a break. I also noticed for the second episode in a row, a lot of tension between these two. And in fact, in this episode, she literally has an argument and walks out on her pro in the middle of their final lesson before the competition. I think this is probably not a wise strategy and won't play out well for them on the comp floor, but that's me. So Colette, we also learned that she has only been with Alex for 3 months. And that's not a long time to have competed with a partner or danced with a partner. I myself have gone to a competition, in fact, Blackpool, competing in the Open Professional. This is in England. It's up in Blackpool, England, and North West England. It's the most prestigious professional competition in the world. Anyway, I went there with a new pro just for political reasons. I was like, well, I can wait a year, but I don't want to be not seen. Then they think I've taken a break, which I haven't. Anyway, that was quite challenging just because I didn't know any routines. We were just out there. He was leading his routines, but I was truly following. And you're not going to dance your best if you don't know quite what to expect. Whereas when you have a routine, which you usually do when you compete, you can really focus on those figures to look your best and feel the most confident. So that was interesting. They've only been dancing a few months, and that would be very difficult to excel just with so little dancing experience with that partner. We also learn why she was, as she called it, partner dumped. And it turns out her former pro broke up with her because he had another adult B lady who was competing with him in Pro-Am Rhythm. Rhythm is kind of the sister dance style to International Latin. And So Colette speculates as to why he might have broken up with her. And in all honesty, my educated guess is that this other partner was simply a higher value client, probably taking a lot more lessons, competing more with him, so making him more money. And although your prom students are absolutely your dance partner, the reality is this is also absolutely your career. It's the only way you make money. So you don't just dance with someone because of their sparkling personality. My guess is this other partner just brings more money to the table and he had to prioritize. I don't know his situation, but he probably has his own family at home to feed. So it's unfortunate, but these things do happen if he had to pick between the two. Next up, we're introduced to a new character, dun dun, and her name is Gael. It'll be interesting to see if this is a kind of a recurring character on the show or just a one-off. I do think it is noticeable that they focus so much on her partner, their history dancing together, when she didn't, in fact, win this event, which makes me think maybe she's going to be a recurring character. Hey, the more the merrier. So Sabrina makes a snide comment in this episode about that she would switch her partner Stas for Nino if given the opportunity. I'm not sure if she really feels this way or if this is perhaps staged cattiness for the show. But in all honesty, given how much she's arguing with her pro, it might be a good idea for her to switch partners. Usually people are quite loyal to their pro, but there are prom ladies, if they're very wealthy, who will literally fly back and forth to a different state every week to practice and compete with a pro who's better than their own. So we'll see how that pans out too. Maybe Nino is going to be a recurring character on this program, Dancing with Sabrina. Who knows? Can't wait to see. Okay, finally, we see the results. Firstly, we see callbacks. So in dance sport competition, there's usually only 6 couples in a final. If they have, say, 11 couples show up for that heat, they will have what's called callbacks, where they dance all 5 dances. And the judges, they don't rate you 1 through 6, but they just do a little tick next to your name, tick, 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 if they like what they saw and they want to see you redance. And you can mess up one dance and still make the final. It's really cumulatively of how many marks you get, callbacks you get for all 5 dances. And unfortunately, Colette does not make that final. But again, having just learned that she's only been dancing a few months, that's not a shock. That's a new partnership for her and Alex. We do ultimately see the final round. They redance, and in the final, the judges actually mark the couples 1 through 6 in each dance. So again, you can mess up one dance and still win. It's how you place overall. And there are rules that govern how to break ties. Those are detailed. I won't get into that here, but the results are as follows. Sabrina, who was just switched from the adult A, places second. I imagine this is a bit of a shock for her because she said she was winning the adult A. And the adult B, a little bit older ladies, tends to be slightly less competitive. But if she has, in fact, taken a 2-year break from competition, I think that's a great showing. Nothing to be embarrassed about. That's great. Gael, the new character, places 3rd with Nino. And Donnie places 6th. And we hear Donnie lamenting that it's because of her size and that she's better than these other ladies that she danced against. Honestly, from what the snips that I saw in this episode, I think that she was probably judged fairly, and it wasn't about her weight. It was about her perhaps being a little stiffer than the other dancers or a little slower than the other competitors, but she didn't dance poorly. Also, different judging panels prioritize different things. So each competition these ladies go to this year is going to have a slightly different set of judges. that are evaluating them. So one judge might prioritize musicality. Another might judge their partnering skills. Another might judge their speed. And so it'll be interesting to see how these ladies place against each other in the future. Also, kind of a fun tea that they talked about in this episode was Sabrina, who just switched from the adult A to the adult B category, tends to be painted, I think, as the protagonist in these episodes. Well, she mentions that she feels the adult B category is a little more catty. And I do have some anecdotal experience with this. Nothing personal. All the people I see in competitions have been kind, supportive, but sometimes people refer to that adult B category as the stinging bees. So maybe there is a little bit of truth behind this particular age set being a little more catty. So there is many more exciting things to unpack in this episode. So I'm going to actually split this one into 2 videos. And we'll talk about the second half of this episode in the next video. I'll post that as soon as I can. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.